Have you ever really stopped to think about something as simple as sitting down in public? Well, today we're going to dive into a personal monologue from a creator named Ritu, who takes this everyday act and shows us how it can be, well, way more complicated than it looks. It really raises some big questions about public space and all those unwritten rules we live by.
So Ritu kicks the whole thing off with this one powerful question. And yeah, on the surface, it's about posture. But what we're about to find out is that it's really about something so much deeper. It's about the weight of what other people might think, that constant feeling of being under a microscope. And right away, she makes it super clear that this isn't just her story. She's saying this is something that tons of women go through. These little everyday moments, they add up. And that's exactly why she feels like we need to be talking about it.
Okay, so to really get where she's coming from, we have to understand what her daily life is like. And it all starts with her commute, which sounds absolutely grueling. I mean, just picture this for a second. Her commute isn't just one trip. It's this multi-part odyssey. First, she's got to survive a packed bus. Then she has to catch a train from a station that's famously chaotic. And after all that, she still has to hop on an auto or a scooter to finally get home. It sounds like a total marathon. And this right here is the key. It's all about her state of mind. By the time she's heading home, she's not just tired. She is, in her own words, completely drained. All she wants is a seat, just a moment to relax. But that's exactly where the problem begins. And this brings us right to the heart of her whole argument. She noticed this huge double standard in how people are seen just for trying to get comfortable after a long day.
Wow! Her way of describing this feeling is so powerful, isn't it? She says that even when she's completely exhausted, she just can't relax and sit how she wants. She feels like if she sits with her legs apart, people will literally start measuring her, judging her entire character just based on how much physical space she's taking up.
And here it is, laid out so clearly. The contrast is just stark. A guy sits with his legs apart. Oh, that's just a man being a man. It's seen as a sign of masculinity, totally normal. He's just taking up his space. But a woman does the exact same thing, maybe just because she's exhausted. Suddenly her character is being questioned. Her fatigue is completely ignored, and instead she gets judged. So, all of that judgment from the outside, it doesn't just stay on the outside. It works its way in, and it becomes this constant internal monologue. It creates this mental load that's just, well, exhausting. And this isn't just about what other people are thinking. It's about how that pressure makes you think about yourself. Ritu calls it self-policing. It's like having this relentless internal checklist that you feel like you have to run through just to exist in a public space. And here's what that mental checklist actually sounds like. These are the kinds of questions she says are just running through her mind all the time. Is anything showing? Am I making things awkward for someone? Am I about to be embarrassed? That final phrase she uses, constantly measuring myself from my hair to my toenails, it just perfectly captures that feeling of total self-scrutiny. So you might be wondering, why talk about all this? Why bring up something so personal and honestly so draining? Well, for Ritu, it really comes down to what she wants to do as a creator. Look, she knows she could be making content about makeup or fashion, the lighter stuff. But she makes a very deliberate choice to talk about what she calls real-life experiences, the daily struggles, the hardships. She believes some things can only really, truly be understood by people who've actually lived them. And ultimately, this is her whole mission right here. She feels this deep need to share these stories precisely because they are things she has struggled with herself. For her, being real isn't about showing a perfect life. It's about sharing the messy, complicated, and often difficult parts of it. So, in the end, Ritu's story takes this one simple act, just sitting on a bus, and turns it into this powerful commentary on public space, on judgment, and on the invisible weight that so many people carry around every day. And it really just leaves us with this final thought to chew on. What other everyday things that we all go through really deserve a much bigger conversation?